All right, folks, let's do it. 9 to 5 is live. So hopefully you guys watched the AMA the other day I did with a project owner. His name is DeFi Spammer. He's been around for a long time. I know it's a funny name, but he's been in the community for quite a while, a couple years, as far as I know. I've seen him around for over a year, and we started talking maybe 8-9 months ago, just in the DMs about certain projects, different tokenomics, all sorts of stuff. Anyway, we kind of became friends. And several months ago, he said, "Hey man, I'm thinking about starting my own project." I said, "Cool. When it's ready, I'll help you rep it." You know what I mean? I'm happy to help you try to build a TBL. And so he worked on it for a few months and came out with it, and then it launched today. So you can get a bunch of the nitty gritty details from the AMA that we were on last week. It might have been like last Friday, I think it was. And now it's launched, so I'm getting in. I actually already got in. I'm just going to show you the basic details. So anyway, of course, I can't find my words here. Of course, all DeFi protocols are risky, right? If you're going to get into anything, please use risk capital. It's a very risky space. This is not financial advice. But I'll say for me personally, and this is just me, I really trust DeFi Spammer. I would consider him a friend in the space and one of the devs that is trying to do it right and be honest in the space. And he's extremely transparent. So much so that it kind of cracks me up. I'll explain more here in a second. Anyway, this is 9 to 5. You get paid during working hours, Monday through Friday. It's under UTC time, so whatever time zone you're in, just know that the working hours are doing that, or the capital is getting generated during those working hours, I should say. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, you're getting paid, takes the weekends off, and you're getting paid from real world external revenue. So Spammer can't help himself. He's overly transparent. He got not one, but 2 audits done, one by CryptoPrim and one by the Stamp. You guys should know George Stamp. Been doing a lot of the audits, really solid. So check both of those out. Got pretty good scores on both. Well, let's just check out the Stamp real quick. You can see right here, owner has access to funds, but it's under a multi-sig wallet. So if the owner wants to do anything crazy with the funds, he's got to queue up the transaction, send it over to the audit firm where they confirm whether the transaction is in the best interest of the investors or not. So I like this mode because sometimes when you get into projects, you realize later, like, you wish you would have changed something. And if you have made it immutable, there's nothing you can do about changing it. But you also, in most cases, you know, we don't trust the devs enough to have full control over it. We want some sort of safeguards in place. So in this case, it's basically a third-party multi-sig wallet. So if I want to do anything with the TVL or change the contract in any meaningful way, I got to send it over to them and then review it and go, no, looks like you're doing it for your benefit, or yes, this looks like you're doing it for the benefit of the investors. So I love this third-party multi-sig wallet angle. Overall, score got an 80, no backdoors, obviously because of the multi-sig. Owner's got a 60, I think it's his first project. Fees are 75 because there are some fees to get in and out. I'll explain those here in a second. I don't think the fees are that bad. And then team trust is 100%, which is a really high team trust score. I'm trying to recall if I've ever seen a team trust score all the way up at 100. But anyway, Binance Smart Chain, of course, you guys know that's my favorite. This one is using USDT. The daily yield on this thing can go up to 2% and as low as 0.5. This actually says up to 3, so it might actually be up to 3, but it just depends on what they're making from the external revenue sources. You're only getting paid of what the back-end revenue sources are actually making, which is a really smart idea, because if you set it at 2% and your back-end yield sources just aren't producing that amount, then you get really deep into the Ponzi-nomics and then the protocol dies, right? And we don't want that. We'd love to have protocols last a year, 2 years. I mean, if you can have a protocol last a year, 2 years, even at 0.5%, you should get fantastic returns. But I think this one's actually going to do better than that. So the daily yield starts at 2%. So if you deposit today and you get in, your yield for the week will be 2% a day for those 8-hour periods of each workday. At the end of the week, what they're going to do is look back and see what the external revenue sources generated in terms of a yield, what percentage, and that following week, you're going to be paid off of that percentage. So if that's all the way up at 3%, you're getting paid out heavy. If they didn't do so well that week, you're getting paid out lower at 0.5. And it'll be the same for that entire week. So every week they'll reevaluate the performance of what all the investments did in the previous week, and that'll set the payment structure for the current week. So this is smart because it's fully backed up by external revenue sources. Let me jump back over to the Dapp real quick. Revenue streams and details. So here's the investment plans. Here's basically how he has it blocked out. 30% is going to go to Forex trading, another 30% to crypto trading. He's got some traders in place that are actually be trading these funds. Staking liquidity pools, 20%, and different protocol investments for another 20%. So he's got it separated out. Now he's got it in plan A, B, C, D, and he's going to add more plans to this. You don't have to pick a plan. You're just involved in all of them. It's just a piece of the pie. All the investments, all the capital that goes into TBL will then be invested in these buckets. Whatever that yields will be transparently told to you, hey, we made 2% this week, so everyone gets paid out 2%, and that will happen concurrently every week. So very simple. Plan A, 30% of those funds will be traded by reliable alpha traders in the Forex market. They're utilizing trustworthy KYC compliant platforms that are listed here, and a low to medium risk approach will be adopted to try to meet the margins. So solid, you've got some Forex traders in the space that'll make up a portion of the revenue. Another 30% of the funds will be traded by Crypto Channel 329. He's a reliable YouTuber on DeFi topics, and he's going to utilize grid bots and Bybit Exchange to generate revenue, trying to be as low risk as possible. So a couple different revenue sources there. The third one is 20% of the funds are going to be allocated into staking pools that offer good APRs. Those are going to be on trusted low volatility platforms, Hedera, Saucer, PancakeSwap. You guys are all familiar with that. So liquidity pools. The nice thing is those are really consistent. They offer a really stable passive income. The percentages aren't crazy, but that doesn't matter. What we're looking for is consistency here. And then 20% of the funds are going to be used in an external revenue wallet will be devoted to investing in cutting-edge DeFi protocols, led by reputable teams. So we all know some projects out there that are led by really good teams. Wolf Capital is one of them. The team at Speakeasy is another, and really there's many more. But those people like that are really proven in the space. They were trusted before they even got started. They built these platforms that have done really, really well. No rugs, no shady stuff, no crazy contract changes that hurt the investors. Those type of people have made a pretty good name in the space. Some of those guys have protocols that are rocking right now that are really solid. Some of them are working on a second protocol or a third protocol. So if we know who those are, just because we're all in the space together and they seem extremely solid, then some of the TBL is going to go over into Plan D, invest in some of these projects so we can earn additional yield. As you can see, the contract balance down here, this just launched, is at 73,000. We're going to pump that bad boy up. I would not be surprised to see this at 200,000 or 300,000 over the next couple days. As you can see here, some top-notch guys, if I do say so myself, are fully backing this protocol, and we're happy to help. Like I said, this dev has always been a really solid guy. So when it comes time to support people in the DeFi space, you want to make sure you're supporting the right type of people, and he's one of them. All right, let's go over to the office. I'm already in this. I dropped in $1,000 so far. I'm going to put a little bit more in. I'm actually going to keep adding to this one. This is a protocol that I personally, and do your own research, watch other YouTube videos, you decide whatever you want to do. But for me, this is a protocol that I think is going to last a long time, a year, maybe 2 years. He's a really trusted guy, and he's using as many external revenue sources as he can. And so it's heavily reduced Ponzi-nomics. It's pretty much almost no Ponzi-nomics in the way we think of it now. But he keeps saying, hey, it's reduced Ponzi-nomics. Because initially you got to be able to pay people out with the money that's coming in, right? The revenue stream's just starting. And so you're actually getting paid. And there may be times where there's dips or whatever, and you got to eat into the TVL a little bit to make sure people get paid out at least that 0.5%. There's going to be up and down weeks. But overall, the way it's structured is it's pretty much no Ponzi-nomic. The external revenue sources are going to pay people out for their percentages. There's taxes that go in here. That's how the dev gets paid. But all the investors are getting paid out from the actual revenue sources. But I get why he's saying reduce Ponzi-nomics. There's always a little bit of that. Any investment has that. Whether you invest in a stock or real estate, if you come early and the price goes up, those people that got in early are going to exit, and that exit liquidity is provided by people that are still getting in, who are still bullish on that investment. It happens in every different market, in every different investment in the world. Ponzi, of course, is not the right term because there's no fraud going on. We just call it Ponzi-nomics because that's the term that the space decided made sense. But like I said, super standard with pretty much all investments. So for me, he says reduce Ponzi-nomics. I will say significantly reduce Ponzi-nomics. So this is where you're going to do all the work. This is where the money's made, right? In the office. So you've got your wallet balance, whatever you've got in there in USDT. I'm on the right wallet, so I invested 1,000, 10% tax went out. I'm going to put another couple hundred in here. My monthly salary, it says, is $396. This is quoting me on the low end. I'm going to get 2% this week. If you get in this week, you will get 2% for the week. In order to get in, we'll just do this right now. Let me set up the ledger. In order to get in, you have to say how much you want to get in with. I want to get in with another 200. You have to approve it and then come over here and deposit it. So it doesn't have access to unlimited funds. Let's approve. Make sure that transaction goes through. As soon as it gives me the notification, then I'll come up here and click deposit. All right, there we go. Okay, scroll up. So in a second here, pretty much all of that balance is going to go over here. And there you go. After taxes, I've got 1080. I really put in 1200. And like I said, with this one, I think it's going to be around for a while. So I'm going to build this position slowly. I just didn't have a ton of money right now. I had to claim. I got a big claim from Whales Candy that I had kind of built up and from a couple other spots. So I just aggregated those together, and that's what's paying for this investment. I move my money around DeFi. I know you guys probably do the same. And then occasionally when the time's right, I transfer some of that out from Spritz and just try to keep supporting this little ecosystem I've created of 20 different projects that are still alive and going right now. But anyway, I got 1200 in right now. I'm gonna build this up to at least 2000 over the next, week or something like that, just depending on how much money I have coming in. And then I'm probably just gonna continue building it. I think it's gonna be around for at least a year, and so why wouldn't I? So I'll get this up to maybe 3-4 grand probably over time, and I'll just kind of keep reinvesting my capital to try to build this up, and then I could just take a nice little salary out of it. There are 4% referral rewards for team builders that want to start. I think this is going to go down over time. He wants to get people enticed to get in, which makes sense. It's basically like spending marketing dollars. So I'll share my referral link if you guys are interested to get in. You of course don't have to use mine. You can use anyone's, but $30 is the minimum to get in, and up to 100K. Next up, this is important. What do you do throughout the week? First off, you can claim daily. So whenever you want to claim, you can claim. If you're going to compound, you can redeposit your earnings tax-free. This will boost your daily earnings by 0.5% until your next claim day, and can be used only with at least 2 days of rewards. So you got to basically let it build up for 2 days, and then you can compound. So claiming can happen every day. Compounding can happen every 2 days. And my personal favorite is the work harder button. So work harder right here. You can compound 50% and withdraw 50%, and this will boost your daily ROI by 0.3% until your next claim. Note that in order to use this, you need to accumulate at least 4 days of rewards. So you're only going to be able to work harder 1 day a week. But the thing I like about this is all the protocols that I've got into lately that have been really successful, the community behind it has tried to drive in the idea that once you claim, try to redeposit 50% of those funds back into the protocol so it can last longer. And that's worked really, really well on a lot of protocols. Working really well on Wolf Capital. It's worked really well on Mischief of Fortune and other Fortune 100 protocols. And there's several other protocols out there that have kind of done the same thing. Now, most of the time, that's community driven. Everyone just gets together and says, hey, let's do this. That way we can make the protocol last a long time. This dev was smart. He actually just built it in. Hey, if you want to work harder and get a little boost by doing that, let's compound 50 and withdraw 50 once a week. You get to take some profits, but you also get to put some back in and get a little bonus for it. So for me, I love this. And I have a hard time knowing what day of the week it is, to be honest. There's just too much going on most of the time, and I'm constantly thinking, is today Wednesday, is it Tuesday, whatever, I don't know. If you guys have that same issue, you might have to do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to make a calendar on this one. That way I know, hey, which days are my compound days, and which days are my work harder days, and what days do I wanna claim. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. That way I can do that once a week, and maybe it's every other day I'm doing the compounding. Once a week I'm doing the 50-50, and once a week I'm doing just a full claim, something like that. So I'm gonna work out my personal strategy when I get in here and start playing with this. But at any time, if you want to withdraw your earnings right here, 22 cents that's made so far, click withdraw, and that'll be sitting in your wallet. Now, like with many other protocols that are out right now, you can earn up to 300% of what you actually deposited. So if you deposit $1,000, you can earn up to 3,000, $100 up to 300, right? That math is pretty simple, but of course you can grow it and everything like that by redepositing funds and stuff like that as you go along. It's also got a nifty little calendar here that'll give you the details. As you can see, this is the date we're on right here, the 8th, 9 to 5 p.m. We're making money. If you want to deep dive into this, either go watch my AMA. There's also the white paper. I'm not going to cover it on the white paper. Maybe I'll pop over there real quick. Go to the Telegram, really active community in Telegram, and this will help you buy USDT. Let's go to the white paper real quick. But I pretty much just covered all this stuff. Protocol launched at 9 a.m. UTC. As you can see, that rate here is stated from 0.05 to 2%. One thing I didn't mention is you have to take an action every week. You can only let this thing build up for a maximum of 7 days. So at least once a week, you got in here and get in there and do something. They've got the investment guide here. It's got all the basic details we just talked about. Like I said, that 10% deposit fee fee goes to the team. No withdrawal fee for any of the other interactions. That's good. This explains the buttons, withdraw, compound, work harder. We already went through that. Portfolio and external revenue, we went through the plans. Security and transparency, again, they did 2 audits and KYC. And while the contract isn't technically immutable, it does require a multi-sig wallet, which is the third party, which is the auditing firm, which I think is a really nice tool to help keep everything safe and secure, but still make edits if they're needed. Referral program and rewards, like I said, they're 4% for right now. I think he plans to lower this over time. He's just trying to make sure that the TVL gets boosted up, because that's really the idea. You got to have a solid TVL to run a really good platform. Plus, that gets people excited. The higher the TVL is, people think it's a great protocol and I want to get in. I don't know what Wolf Capital's is, but it's like 3 million something right now. So I think this one has the potential to have that level of success. I think we could get into the millions of TVL over time as people see it's just super consistent, and it doesn't necessarily matter that you get in on day one, right? Some of these protocols I want to get on day one because I'm just so concerned that if I don't, that money's going to run out by the time I get to my break-even point and make a little bit of profit. And a lot of times that's completely true. With this one, I don't think it's that big of a deal. If you're getting any referral rewards, you got friends or family you're trying to invite, once you get those referral rewards coming in, you can take them out and just put them directly in your wallet, but you're going to get hit with a 30% tax and the rest goes to your wallet, or you can compound it into your balance and just add it to the TVL and then you don't get any extra tax. So I think that's kind of cool. It's smart. So if the influencer or whatever has an intention to just shill it a bunch and they got this big community, but they're really just trying to take those profits and go just the referral rewards, in this case, if they try to do that, it's actually going to tax them heavy, and that 30% goes back into the TVL just to help everyone else out. So I like that. Official links, FAQ, disclaimers, all that stuff is here. I won't spend too much time on it, but this is 9 to 5, guys. Like I said, when I went through the checklist here, it hit every single checkbox for me. I always want to talk to the project owner and get to know him. Of course, I already know this guy, so I feel real comfortable. It's got several external revenue sources. The rates aren't degen. I mean, it's going to go up and down depending on how they're actually performing in the market. So you could do not so well for a couple weeks, and then you could kill it for a couple weeks. And that's indicative of real life investments. You know, it's just a constant roller coaster up and down. The idea is for this thing to last a long time. So that was good. Ponzi-nomics are very, very minimal. He's super transparent. Like I said, both audits and a KYC. So after all that, I figured I'm definitely going into this one. But that's the deal. Like I said, $1,200 in right now. I'm going to keep adding to this, and I'm just going to utilize this one as a long-term play. Trusted dev, real external revenue sources. That's a win for me. So let me know what you guys think. Some of you guys might have questions because the compound claim thing and schedule is just a little bit confusing to some people. It took me a little while to get it of exactly how I was going to want to lay it out. I'll make another video that's going to show my exact strategy and probably the calendar that I'm going to use to know which days I need to claim on, which days I want to work harder, and which days I want to compound. But if you've got questions or concerns or whatever, ask them in the chat. You're also welcome to jump into my Telegram. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I think this one's going to be big. Happy investing.